everybody, it's Jennifer with GetYourCreditPerfectNow.com, and in this video I want to show you how to remove negative items from your credit report. Now the first and most important step is, of course, to request a copy of your credit report. I speak with people all the time that may have applied for credit and maybe got turned down, or they just know that they have bad credit, but they really don't know what items are on their credit report. The most important thing is to actually take a look at your report so you can know exactly what's on there. The vast majority of credit reports have some type of inaccuracy or error on the report, and that is why there is the Fair Credit Reporting Act and different organizations that are in place to protect you as the consumer, making sure that the information that's on your credit report is accurate, and that the credit bureaus and your creditors have to follow certain laws and guidelines in terms of how they report that information. So that is why it's very, very important to monitor your credit as much as possible. Now, the first way that you can request your credit report is going to the site annualcreditreport.com. On this site, you will actually be able to request a free copy of your credit report from all three credit bureaus. Under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, you are entitled to one free copy of your credit report each and every year. So you can go to this site and request those reports directly and for free. The second option that you can use to request your credit report is to sign up for some type of credit monitoring service. And again, I highly, highly recommend credit monitoring because you need to know what's going on with your credit. If you are embarking on a journey of improving your credit, improving your finances, it's very, very important that you know what's going on with your credit. You don't want any surprises if you're going to purchase a car, buy a house, or just obtain new credit in some form or fashion. You want to be prepared and you want to be aware. And you also want to make sure that there's not new items that just get tossed on your credit report that don't belong to you, because that happens quite a bit. You can go to the following link, which is getyourcreditperfectnow.com/get-your-credit-report, to see a listing of some credit monitoring services that we recommend. Now, after you do that, the information that you're going to need in order to request your credit report is, of course, your name, your current address, your previous address if you've been at your current residence for less than 2 years, your phone number, and your social security number. So those are the items that you will need in order to get your credit report. Now, once you obtain your credit report, you're going to want to review your credit report for inaccuracies, late payments, collections, judgments, charge-offs, any negative items that you see on the credit report. Now, what I highly recommend is going through and looking at any items that are notated as being delinquent or charge-offs or negative in any form or fashion, and circle those items. You want to pay close attention to the open date of that account, the date of last activity on the account, the payment history on the account, and make sure that all of that information is accurate. Regardless of whether it is accurate or inaccurate, the creditors are required to be able to prove that the account is delinquent or it's a collection or whatever status that they have reported on your credit report. So what I always tell people is that, you know, the credit reporting system is kind of like the legal system in a sense. You are innocent until proven guilty. And it's not a matter of whether or not you have, quote unquote, done the crime. It's a matter of whether they can prove that you have done the crime. It works similarly in the credit industry in that it's not a matter of whether the item is yours. It's a matter of whether they can prove that the item is yours and that they follow the law and specific guidelines in order to substantiate that that is your item. So any type of negative item can be deleted and removed from your credit report It's just a matter of going through the whole process. So what you're going to want to do next is to contact the creditor via mail on the inaccurate item, and then the credit bureaus if necessary. We found that you get some of the better results when you contact the creditor directly first before contacting the credit bureaus. That's kind of one of our more advanced methods. However, you can have great success by contacting the credit bureaus directly on the first or second round of disputing. If you're contacting the credit bureaus, either Equifax and TransUnion, they actually request that you fill out a form. They actually have their own standard form when sending a dispute. Now, this is something that is not required, but it will actually give you a document that you can use in the disputing process. Now, just to show you what that looks like, let me see if I can pull that up. It's still loading. While that's loading, what I want to say is, whenever a credit bureau tries to make things quote unquote more convenient for you, usually you're not going to get as good of a result as if you do it separate and aside from their process. And I'm saying that to say, a lot of times people, you'll log on to a credit bureau website, and they have a means for you to file a dispute online. You never, ever, ever, ever want to file a credit dispute online, because you're actually helping the credit bureau validate the information faster than they would if they had to do it manually by you sending a letter. The credit bureaus and the creditors have exactly 30 days to provide evidence to substantiate that the debt belongs to you. And if you send the information electronically, you're helping them cut down that 30-day window even faster. And, 9 times out of 10, it doesn't work out on your behalf if you do it that way. So I definitely encourage you to make sure that you mail any disputes out directly to the bureaus. Now, here is a copy of the form just for your reference for Equifax. This is just something to show you what kind of document that they are asking for you to fill out. As you can see, it's very basic. Reason for investigation, it's not mine, it's paid in full, account closed, that type of thing. So this is something that you can use if you'd like to, but I don't necessarily recommend it. I do recommend sending your own dispute letters. So let's go ahead and move forward. I want to show you a copy of an example dispute letter. This is a standard dispute letter. This is not a 609 dispute letter. If you're familiar with those, they are a lot stronger and use the Fair Credit Reporting Act and all the different legal sections that mandate how the credit bureaus report your information on your credit report. So you definitely are going to get stronger results with a 609 type letter. However, these letters are also adequate, and you can get some very good results with them as well. So here is an example letter. Of course, you're going to put your name, your date, your name, address, the name of the credit bureau or the creditor's name and address. And here's the letter. Dear Sir or Madam, I'm writing to dispute the following information in my file. The items I disputed are also encircled on the attached copy of the report I received. This item, and you want to list whatever the item is that's on your report. Just type in the name of the creditor, and the description of what it is. So if it's a American Express card for $3,200 that you have, it's a collection account, you would say American Express 3,200 collection account. Describe why the information is inaccurate. I'm requesting that the item be deleted, or request another specific change. You would actually fill in whatever result that you're looking for. Most of the time you're going to want them to just delete it. Enclosed are copies of, and this is where you would put in any information. If you have copies of receipts, if you have bank statements, if you have anything that substantiates that this information is not yours or is inaccurate in any way, you can attach that to the letter. If you don't have that, don't worry about that. You can actually delete that notation right here. If that doesn't apply to you, you can delete it and from your letter. Please reinvestigate this matter and delete or correct the disputed items as soon as possible. Sincerely, your name. You would put your name, and you would, if there's any type of enclosures that you have, you would list them here. If you don't have any enclosures, you can actually delete that notation. So this is a very standard dispute letter. It's effective. It can get you the results that you're looking for. For reference, here are the credit bureau addresses that you would send these disputes over to. And what I want to say is that if you're not getting the result that you want after going through that process, you can send a follow-up letter asking for them to provide evidence of how they validated that information. You can also file a complaint with the Consumer Protection Bureau at consumerfinance.gov/complaint, and click on credit reports and then submit the online form. This is a consumer protection agency that mandates or protects the individuals against predatory credit and lending practices. And so as consumer advocates, they're going to run their own investigation and challenge the credit bureaus and or creditors to provide physical documentation to prove that that information is yours. So that is a very, very great tool in your arsenal to get the results that you're looking for. So with that being said, if you are interested in this process and learning how you can dispute and get negative items deleted off of your credit report yourself, you can go ahead and click the link below this video to download our checklist that is going to show you the step-by-step process on how to get negative items deleted from your credit report. Definitely hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video and subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. Until next time, I look forward to chatting with you soon, and take care. Bye-bye.